Welcome back to the American Lit Nation and American Lit 18. Today we're going to learn about Emily Dickinson's A Narrow Fellow in the Grass.
All right, here we go. This is the explanation and analysis of A Narrow Fellow in the Grass. This is what we're planning on doing in the classroom today. I'm going to go through this very quickly, but do not worry. You can press pause at any point to make sure that the information that you completed on your graphic organizer is the same as what we have as we go through the PowerPoint. Okay, now here we go. All right, so the first question that you have is describe a narrow fellow in stanza 1 and 2. A narrow fellow in the grass occasionally rides. You may have met him, did you not? His notice instant is, the grass divides as with a comb, a spotted shaft is seen, and then it closes at your feet and opens further on. So again, we have the slant rhyme demonstrated there. And what the narrow fellow, sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't. He's hard to spot. He's skinny like the shaft of an arrow. Think of him as a comb passing through some hair. And did you notice the simile that was in line 5? Yes, the snake is being compared to the tines of a comb. All right, who is the speaker and why is the speaker barefoot? The speaker is a little boy. Little boys did not wear shoes when playing. Usually during the 19th century, it was probably during the summer. All right, where does the narrow fellow like to live? Well, he likes to live out where it's damp, wet, and cool. Let me go back on that just a second, okay? Hey, also something that you need to know is that what the poet is trying to describe here with this extended metaphor is that the snakes will suddenly appear. So make sure you know that as you get ready for Friday. In stanza 4, what does the speaker think the narrow fellow is? And again, here's the stanza for you to read. He thinks there's a whip, right there in the first line. And the whip, if you did not know, is an instrument that was used for striking as driving animals or in punishing the animals. It was typically consisted of a lash or other flexible part with a more rigid handle, usually more like a leather tied together, and this was what they used usually with cattle. Me in stanza 5, there again, there's the stanza for you, and me is simply referring to the speaker, who again is a little boy. But you need to note here nature's people. Nature's people, Emily is referring to as creatures that live out in the wild. This wasn't a question in the graphic organizer, but there's a question that you will see again probably on Friday. What effect does the narrow fellow have in the grass have on the speaker in the last stanza? Again, here's a copy of the stanza for you. You can take a look at it. And it scared him to death. Walking through in the field, possibly a cornfield of some sort. That's what the impression I got from when you read through the poem. And what the snake suddenly appears, yeah, it would scare him to death. It would startle you. It would chill somebody to the bone. The snake actually frightened him is another way to look at it. What is the narrow fellow in the grass? How do you know? What are the clues? As we've discussed all the way through, we know that he's a snake. There are several clues that are listed through the poem. A shaft is seen. A narrow fellow likes a boggy acre. Some imagery to describe what the snake might look like. Again, a description of the snake, comparing the snake to possibly the shaft of an arrow, and describing where the snake likes to live. The theme of A Narrow Fellow in the Grass is very simply that we believe that Emily was intending to send that the natural world is to be embraced as inspirational, yet is also need to be respected, and know that there are creatures out in the wild in the natural world that are to be feared.
Well, that's it, everybody. That's Emily Dickinson's A Narrow Fellow in the Grass. I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in for this episode and hope you check back again later as I upload future videos on the American Lit Nation. Don't forget before you go on to subscribe if you like this channel and ring the bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So subscribe and ring the bell right now before you go to bed. Thanks.